1, 2, here we go. Good morning, everybody. Tiny drops of water bouncing on my roof, rubbing out a song of love, pounding out the truth. You send them to remind me, one for every blessing on me, and oh, they will keep coming, overflowing. Every day your goodness finds me, every day your heart beats true. I'm alive in the light of glory, I'm amazed by the sight of you. This love is everlasting, you find a way to show me every day, every day. The rush of freeway traffic and the hush of a sunset, you get my attention, I'm listening. It's a private conversation, you and I in one vibration, and oh, you remind me, oh, amazing. Every day goodness finds me, every day your heart beats true. I'm alive in the light of glory, amazed by the sight of you. This love is everlasting, and you find a way to show me every day, every day. There is no one like you every day. There is no one like you every day. You love me every day. You love me every day. Your goodness finds me every day. Your heart beats true. I'm alive in the light of glory, amazed by the sight of you. This love is everlasting, and you find a way to show me every day, every day, every day, every day, every day, every day, every day. Good morning. We're gonna do one more. Are you awake? All right, I'm gonna try to wake you up. 1, 2, 3. I woke up this morning in my mind, stayed on the spirit. I woke up this morning with my mind, stayed on the spirit. This morning with my mind, stayed on the spirit. Hallelujah, hallelujah.
Miahuen Omun Emem, Netneto Reverend Jeffrey Ryan. We here at Riverside Center for Spiritual Living acknowledge that we gather on the ancestral lands of the Cahuilla, the Gabrielino Tongva, the Kizh, and the Luiseno peoples. We commit to living in right relations, to love our neighbors, to seek justice and loving kindness, and to walk humbly upon this land. We recognize our oneness so that we may decolonize our minds and set each other free from the pain of racism and violence, to live better as Spirit intended, in harmony with nature and with one another. Good morning, Riverside. I am Reverend Jeffrey Ryan. It is my honor and pleasure to serve this beloved community, Riverside Center for Spiritual Living, and this is my first Sunday back after 6 weeks off, and I want to thank you for the graciousness of allowing me to take my vacation. I really do appreciate that. So thank you very much, and it is wonderful to be home and to be back with all of you here in the room and with all of our beloveds online. So good morning to Mom and Dad in Las Vegas. Good morning to Patty Clark. Good morning, Vicki and Marty. Great to see you. Good morning, Linda McDermott. Good morning, Amber. Good morning, Corey. Good morning, Earl and Denise. So great to have all of you. And good morning, Lupe and John as well. So great to have all of you joining us online, at home, or wherever you are in the world. And also great to have all of you here in the sanctuary this morning. It is wonderful to be back. It is wonderful to see all of your bright, shiny faces. So hi, Sally. So why don't we kick this morning off, get it started here with a little moving and grooving. We've already been doing a little bit of that. Let's continue that little moving and grooving with singing our love out into the world, shall we? Here we go.
All right, you guys have to sing this with us. I sing my love, I sing my love, I sing my love into the world. I sing my love, I sing my love, I sing my love into the world. I sing my love, I sing my love, I sing my love into the world. I sing my love, I sing my love, I sing my love into the world. Here we go. I dance my joy, I dance my joy, I dance my joy into the world. I dance my joy, I dance my joy, I dance my joy into the world. I dance my joy, I dance my joy, I dance my joy into the world. Dance my joy, dance my joy, dance my joy into the world. I live my peace, I live my peace, I live my peace, I live my peace into the world. I live my peace, I live my peace, I live my peace into the world. I live my peace, I live my peace, I live my peace into the world. I live my peace, I live my peace, I live my peace into the world. I sing my love, I sing my love, I sing my love, I sing my love into the world. I sing my love, I sing my love, I sing my love into the world.
Woohoo! Yes. So, in case you haven't been paying attention to the calendar, today is 9/11. So today marks 21 years since that fateful day. And so I wanted to take a moment here to take a moment to remember. Take a moment to bless the lives lost that day, but also to take a moment to remember that while 9/11 was a defining moment for, not only for those of us in the United States, but it was a defining moment around the world, but really 9/12 was a defining moment. 9/12, when the country was unified when the world was unified, when we came together as one in love and compassion, sorrow. But we came together as one people around the world. And yes, things have continued to unfold and what have you, but what I would like to call us back to is that place of unity, because that is what we teach here at Centers for Spiritual Living. Yes, we teach the oneness inherent in one and all. We teach the unity. We teach the unconditional love that each one of us is, that each one of us is a part of. And so while we honor those who have gone before us, I also want to take a moment to allow this moment for us to reflect and bring forth that feeling of love, bring forth that feeling of compassion, bring forth that feeling of unity, because that is truly who each one of us is. And I also want to take this moment to recognize several losses this week in our community. Casey Wilson, practitioner Casey Wilson, many of you know her. Her father made his transition on Monday morning. Reverend Colleen Tanaka, a dear friend of our community, her father made his transition on Tuesday. And then just yesterday morning, many of you know our beloved Laura Lopez, who's a beloved member of our community. She's been up working with Casey at the Camp Cedar Ridge, and her RV had an electrical shortage and caught fire, and she lost everything. So her cats got out of the RV. She is physically fine. She's physically unharmed. However, this is also a great loss for her as well. So I want to presence that, because being part of a spiritual community is we get to celebrate our joys together, and when we celebrate our joys, we amplify our joys. And when we share our sorrows and when we share our grief, then that is also shared and distributed, and it is lightened, because then all of us are helping and supporting and carrying that light. So I invite you this morning to join me now in prayer for these beloveds who have experienced so much loss this week. And then we will move into this song of remembrance. So if you would just join me in consciousness, recognizing here and now there is just one life, one power, one presence, one infinite eternal that is forever expressing itself, that brought forth all of life, all of creation through and as itself. And I recognize that this is the very who I am, that I am one with this one. I am one with this eternal life, this one life that is ever present, that is love itself, forever and ever expressing, forever and ever expanding, taking form and returning back into the substance and the source of life itself, and then returning to form, forever and ever expanding, forever and ever growing, forever and ever expressing itself. This is who I am. And so therefore I know that because this is the truth of me, I know that this is the truth of everyone, of all of life, of all of creation. So I speak a word here today for Casey and Reverend Colleen and Laura Lopez, who have experienced great losses this week, recognizing that the loss of this carnal life, this loss of this physical life, is just an expression, is just yet another moment in time, another way that love expresses itself into a higher form of expression itself. So I know that the lives of the fathers, I know that the lives of those surrounding Laura are continuing to express themselves in greater, more fuller ways, for I know that life is eternal itself. Life continues to move. Life continues to express itself in magnificent and glorious ways. And so I know for Casey, and I know for Reverend Colleen, and I know for Laura, I know comfort and peace at this time in their lives. I know for them that Spirit is right where they are, guiding, directing, comforting, consoling. Spirit is continuing to maintain and sustain them through this time in their lives as they continue to navigate a new normal, a new way of being, a new life itself. And so I also speak a word for all those who have lost or experienced loss, which I know is absolutely everyone present here this day and anyone around the world. Each one of us has experienced some sort of loss, whether it is the loss of a loved one, the loss of a home, or the loss of an idea, the loss of an ideal, the loss of a way of life, the loss of a way of perhaps being before. And so we acknowledge that collective grief, we acknowledge that collective pain, and we bring that and we lay that down at the altar of love, knowing that love lifts us up and love breathes us into and loves us into the next existence, the next greater yet to be that is unfolding for each one of us. So I give thanks for this knowledge. I give thanks for this knowing. I give thanks for this spiritual truth. And I give thanks for its demonstration. And so I release this word now into law, knowing it is fulfilled, knowing that it is done. And together we affirm, and so it is.
A candle in your memory, though I don't know who you are. When I think about your family, I wish upon a star, and I pray they'll find peace someday. I pray they'll make it through. I'll light a candle in your memory to honor you. I'll light a candle for America. May we feel peace inside. We'll hold each other closer and wipe the tears we've cried. I pray we'll bond together. I pray we'll make it through. I'll light a candle for America, for me and you. We will light the world with our love. We will light the world with our love, with our love. I'll light a candle for humanity, for the good that's yet to come, as we overlook our differences and join now as one. And I pray we'll come out stronger in this world I'm dreaming of. I'll light a candle for humanity, to be the world living in love. We will light the world with our love, with our love. We will light the world with our love, with
name is Allison Berry, one of your licensed spiritual practitioners here at Riverside Center for Spiritual Living. Practitioner Dinah Williams and I will be available for a brief moment of prayer after service in the prayer room that's located in the lobby. Please don't leave here with anything on your heart. We love to pray and absolutely know that prayer works. Now please allow this music to take you into the silence, followed by this morning's invocation.
God is, I am right here, right now, right here, right now. God is, I am. God is, I am right here, right now, right here, right now. God is, I am. God is, I am right here, right now, right here, right now. God is, I am.
So let's join together in consciousness. If it's comfortable for you, close your eyes as we continue in the beautiful atmosphere and consciousness that has been established here. The consciousness of unity, of oneness, of unconditional love. And as we tap into that, as we deeply embody it, the enduring truth that I do know is that there is only one presence, one divine power, one infinite love intelligence that expresses through and as all of life. It is birthless, deathless, changeless, absolute. And because I do know there's only one, I know absolutely that each and every one of us is uniquely fashioned and formed of this spirit stuff, of the unconditional love, of the perfect peace, of the wholeness and harmony, of the joy, of the compassion, of the light that is spirit, that infuses all of life, much as it does this very beautiful room that we're seated in. Prayers upon prayers upon prayers have been prayed in this sacred space. So in this beautiful and on this beautiful day of sacred remembrance, we tap into that. We tap into the awareness that perfect love casts out all fear, that we are united in this unbreakable bond that lifts us up, that is us. So I bless each and every one of us present here in this sanctuary, present online. It is a divine appointment this day. There are no accidents in God. And so I know that as we do come together, we are keenly aware of our divine inheritance of who and what we truly are. And we open ourselves to Spirit. We open ourselves to the words spoken, prayers prayed, to the music sung, to the harmony of the spheres, to the beauty of this day, knowing that we are blessed upon blessed, and that something magnificent is birthed right here and right now, just by our presence, just by our openness and receptivity to pure Spirit expressing through and as us. We indeed are open to that use me consciousness that is completely surrendered, that trusts that we are truly about Spirit's work, that there is something magnificent that expresses through and as us uniquely and most magnificently. It is our gift of beingness and doingness. And so I do know that all is in divine order, that all is well, and we celebrate it. And I just let it be, and together we say, and so it is.
Crystal clear waters of life looks like 1,000
we go. So a quick shout out. Good morning to Christine. Good morning, Dr. Naima. Aloha kakahiaka to Casey and Wayne. So great to see you all joining us this morning as well online. So let's do like we always do in this part here. Shall we say our focus statement together? Yes? Okay. Let's say it with the B's, because I'm back. How's that? So what are some of the B's that we're going to say this with? Beautiful. Bodacious. Brave. Bold. Bright. Bestest. Okay. Here we go. Boom. Mic drop. Boom. All right, here we go. We embolden people to live their highest potential through the transformative power of love. Yes. All right. So I want to thank the band. It's great to be back and have this magnificence here with us. So thank you. All right. So here at Centers for Spiritual Living Worldwide, this year we are working with the theme of Living Everyday Wonder. Every week that I'm here, I point to the side of the room over there because that's where we have the banner that says Living Everyday Wonder. In case those of you wondering at home, why do I do that? That's why we have a banner here in the sanctuary that says Living Everyday Wonder, which is our theme for this year. And each month of the year, we have been taking the opportunity to explore a different aspect of our lives through the idea of living everyday wonder. And so last month we explored nature. This month we are exploring work. So it is that realm of our lives where we work. And some of you go, well, I'm already retired. I don't work anymore. And I talk to my friends that are retired and I'm like, I'm busier now than when I used to work. And I see a lot of nodding heads in the room as well. So it's an interesting phenomenon. But work doesn't just mean what your job, your 9 to 5 or whatever hours, your shift or whatever. That's not just what work means. Work could mean your school. Work could mean your passions. Work could mean how you volunteer in the world, what you are called to do. So work, in this way that we're looking at it, is more of a vocation. And then that's a loaded word too, isn't it, my beloveds? Vocation comes from the word vocare, the Latin vocare, which means voice, or more deeply, vocare means call, to call. And then you're like, wait a minute. Now we're talking about my calling? Now we're talking about the purpose of my life? I don't know what my purpose is. I don't know what my calling is. I hear this frequently too. I don't know. And remember, I've shared with you before, you do know your purpose. Remember what it is? To be the power and the presence of love on earth. That's it. Simple. Done. To be the power and the presence of love on earth. That is the purpose. That is our divine purpose in life. That is our whole reason for existence, is to be the power and the presence of love on earth. All right, so we've answered that question, right? But then the vision or the individualization is then, okay, so if I'm to be the power and the presence of love on earth, then how does that want to express? And we have a tendency to go to these ideas of like, I should do this, I ought to do that, I should value this, I should value that, I should put other people ahead of my needs, I should put this belief ahead of what I'm feeling, I should put these ideas or this work ahead of what I'm really wanting to do, what I'm really feeling passionate about. We can sometimes get caught in our shoulds and our ought-tos. So how do we then create a life that matters? And what we talk about with creating a life that matters is there is this deep need within each of us, I think, of having a life and creating a life and living a life that feels purposeful, that feels like there's meaning to our life, that we are somehow contributing to the larger society, that we are somehow advancing consciousness, or we are advancing our society in some way. And so when we're looking at creating a life that matters, that what that really means more, the way we're looking at it, is that it's a wanting to express, wanting to give meaning, wanting to feel that my life has value, that my life, that I've contributed somehow to the larger society. And the very fact that you're breathing means that your life has value. Because who you are is spirit made manifest. You are the one life, the one power, the one presence made manifest. You are love made manifest here on earth. So there is not a need, or there is not an inherent requirement to earn love, to earn value, to earn respect. There's not an inherent, that's not what spiritually we know to be true, because you already are it. You can't get more of it. You can't become it anymore, because you already are it. Yet our experience and how we show up in this individualized form on this planet, in this realm of time and space, we begin to think about, but I want to make a difference. I want to make an impact. I want to feel like I've contributed. I want to leave something behind. I want to leave legacy behind. And so that's what it looks like when we are talking about creating a life that has meaning, a life that matters. Notice, though, that what we're talking about is we're talking about creating a life, living a life. We're not talking about making a life. And when you look at Western society, it's a really funny thing that we use that word making. Make a living, make time, make space. It comes from a very mechanical, industrial way of looking at that the world is a machine, and that we must make the machine, we must make the industrial thing, we must make, right? But if we look at agricultural societies, agricultural cultures, then what we see is that the language changes. It's create a life. It is grow a life. It is expand time. It is create space. There is this idea that is much more in alignment and in attunement with what it is that we believe, that we have the creative power to create something new, to create a new life, to create a new way of being, to create a new way of expressing in the world. We're not trying to make it happen. We are allowing it to happen. We are creating it. We are expressing it. We are growing it. Isn't that a much more interesting way of looking at life? Yes. Isn't it more freeing to ooh, I get to create, or I get to play, or we get to grow, we get to nurture, rather than I have to make it. Right? There's a Quaker saying that says, let your life speak. Let your life speak. And Parker Palmer wrote this wonderful little book. It's little, but don't be fooled by its size. He wrote this wonderful little book called Let Your Life Speak. And in this book, he talks about letting your life speak and what he thought that, and he was like, okay, let my life speak. So in his initial thoughts around that phrase of let your life speak, he's thought, okay, so I decide what my values are, I decide what my beliefs are, I decide what my goals are, and then I try to live into those. And that was his first thought about letting his life speak. All right, let me look around. Okay, this looks good. Let's go here, let's do this. But as he worked with this phrase and as he continued to evolve in his consciousness and his understanding of this phrase, what he realized and what he came to define this as is this: before you tell your life what you intend to do with it, listen for what it intends to do with you. And he then goes on to say, before you tell your life what truths and values you have decided to live up to, let your life tell you what truths you embody and what values you represent. So it is what he's saying here in creating this life that matters and creating this authentic life and creating a life that is fulfilling and joy-filled. He invites us to, rather than tell life what I intend to do with it, I listen to life and hear what it intends to live through and as me. Rather than telling life, these are the truths that I want, or these are the truths that I know, these are the values I hold, he invites us to allow life to share with us and to illumine us as to what truths are true for us and what truths we embody and what values we present. Allow your life, before you tell your life what you intend to do with it, allow your life to tell you what it intends to do with you. He goes on to talk about the way, not the way of life or the way of making things happen, not the creative process, but he goes on to talk about the way, and the way is guidance, spiritual guidance. Here at Centers for Spiritual Living, one of the ways that we have to tune into the spiritual guidance is we have the practice of visioning, where we sit in silence and we pose questions to Spirit and open to Spirit's highest idea of our life. We open to Spirit's highest idea of what it is wanting to express through and as us. This is one of the pathways that we have, one of the tools that we use. And we also invite the questions of what must I release, what must I embrace, what must I become for guidance. But there are multiple ways of opening to guidance, and reading is one of them. And so as I was reading this book, he was talking about the way, and he was talking about, in Quaker tradition, they say, way will open, meaning the path will unfold before you. Spirit will reveal the path. And he was like, I've been waiting for way to open. I've been waiting for way to open. I've been waiting for way to open. I've been praying. I've been meditating. I've been doing everything I know how to do. And way is not opening. I'm not getting any more clear. I'm not getting any more clarity. Way is not opening. And one of the elders says, but way has been closing, hasn't it? He's like, yeah. And so you're guided too by what the way closes just as much as what the way opens if we pay attention to it. So rather than turning around and seeing the door close, or rather than standing there with a closed door in front of us, the way closed, a closed door in front of us, what Spirit is doing when it closes the door is it's an invitation then to turn around and see a whole new vista, a whole new possibility. It's inviting us into the possibilities, into the potentialities of what is or what's now available when this particular way has closed. And the way's closed for us, hasn't it? Collectively as a society. We just experienced the pandemic. I mean, and not that it's not still going on. We're moving into the endemic phases of it now. But for an entire year, once again, just like 9/11, there was a worldwide shift. There was a worldwide call. There was a worldwide closing of what was, and an invitation to turn and open to the possibilities that lie ahead. When we talk about, oh, I can't wait for things to get back to the way they were, honey, they're never going to go back to the way they were. They never have. They don't go back to the way they were. We still move forward. I've shared with you, our feet point forward for a reason, because that's the direction we're headed in. So we have the opportunity here, and we've had the opportunity, and I think a lot of us have had this opportunity, and we're continuing to have this opportunity based on the conversations, especially that I've been having this week with lots of folks, is that we've had an opportunity to really begin to take stock of, to look at what it is that we do value. If we've been paying attention and we choose to listen, if we choose to open and hear, we can see that way has closed behind us, and so we have the opportunity to turn and face what is in front of us or what is available in front of us, and we have the opportunity to pause and listen and let life speak. Collectively, there was a pause to listen, to let life speak at 9/11, 2001. Now there is another pause to listen and let our lives speak. And I feel, as I've been talking with folks, whether it's work or what have you, there is this strong desire of some of that stuff really wasn't working for me. My priorities are I want to spend time doing something I love. I want to spend my time with people I love. I want to spend my time, I want to enjoy the time I have. I want to enjoy the life I have in greater ways. And we've seen that with the Great Resignation, right? People quitting their jobs, finding something new, expressing and learning and growing into something new, because what was no longer serving. And so there's been this collective call for release of what has been, so that we may open up to a greater yet to be, but we just don't know yet what that is. And that's the opportunity for us to continue stepping forward and finding clarity and looking outward, or looking up and looking forward as we turn within and look within and experience the life force, that divine intelligence, that infinite eternal wisdom that is internal to express itself, to share itself, to show itself one moment at a time. So how many of you have kind of been experiencing this? What do I do next? I don't know. We don't have to know what to do next. And the question, as Howard Thurman phrases it, the question is, don't ask yourself what the world needs. Ask yourself what makes you come alive. Don't ask yourself what the world needs. Ask yourself what makes you come alive. And then go and do that, because what the world needs is more people to be alive. It needs people who have come alive. And then Frederick Buechner says your vocation, your calling, your expression of the purpose of your life, your vocation is the place where your deep gladness meets the world's deep need. And what he does here is he places deep gladness first in front of the world's need. And what we know is the world needs more people who are awake, according to Howard Thurman, right? Awake and alive. Okay. So how do we feel awake? How do we feel alive? And here Frederick Buechner gives us a little clue, or gives us a little insight, that it's our deep gladness. So this week, beloveds, I invite you to make a date with joy. Make a date with joy. If you have a joy in your life, I guess you can make a date with them too. But make a date with joy. And what I mean by make a date with joy is, here we have this guidance here that, this guidance that's come for moving forward. We have this guidance here that says, turn to the joy, look for the joys. What brings you joy? Or not even necessarily brings you joy. What do you enjoy doing? What do you enjoy experiencing? Who do you enjoy spending your time with? What do you enjoy? Or at least find pleasant, if you can't get to joy. Right? And then, once you have made a list, start with a minimum of a list of 10. It shouldn't be that hard, right? I enjoy reading. I enjoy a long hot shower. I enjoy baking cookies. It doesn't have to be like big, right? I enjoy working with this group of people, and that could be it too. But and then just whatever it is, make a list of your joys, or what you enjoy, what you find pleasant, what you find enjoyable, and make that list, and then schedule it. Put it on your calendar. Grow the joy by putting it on the calendar, and then keep a date with yourself for your joy date. So maybe it's reading a novel. All right, so tomorrow at 9 o'clock in the morning, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to read for an hour and get lost in some fabulous story. And then in a couple days, I'm going to bake cookies because I enjoy the smell of cookies, and I enjoy eating them, and I enjoy sharing them. Whatever it is, but make a date with joy. Because when we make a date with joy, when we begin to experience the little joys, we begin to experience those little pleasantries, those little pleasantness pieces, then we are experiencing joy, we are experiencing life, we are experiencing love in a present moment. When we're in joy, we're in the present. And then we have the opportunity then to really be in the presence of Spirit. And when we are in the presence of Spirit in joy, we open up to even greater guidance. We open up to even greater possibilities. And as we are experiencing our joy, as we're coming alive with our joy, this is what Howard Thurman says that the world needs, is us to be alive. When we are alive, then we can show up for one another. We can show up in service. We can show up to support one another, to help one another grow, to make a larger contribution. But what we're doing is we're doing it from a place of love. We're doing it from a place of joy. We're doing it from a place of overflow. And it is an opportunity then to see what it is that brings us joy, and then how do we bring that joy to this place of service. And then you're making your mark on the world. You're creating a life that matters. You're creating a life that has meaning. You're creating a life of contribution. But it starts, and rightfully so, internally, because we can't give that which we don't have to give. We can't give from an empty pitcher. If we are not filling ourselves up, if we are not filled up with something that brings us joy, we can't continue to give, we can't continue to serve. We'll deplete ourselves. But when we give from that place where there's that renewable energy, where it's like the roots of a tree that continuously produces fruit year after year, season after season, the fruit, yes, falls, the fruit comes away, we get to eat it, we enjoy it, right? But we know that there's going to be more fruit because the tree keeps producing fruit, because the tree is giving of itself. It's giving something, it's giving its renewable sources because it's constantly being renewed. But if we don't constantly renew ourselves with joy, with that life-affirming activities in our life, then our branches wither. Our branches die. We cease to produce fruit. And then maybe all we're good is for firewood. Right? Annie Dillard says, she's an author as well, she says, how we spend our days is, of course, how we spend our lives. How we spend our days is how we spend our lives. So this week, I invite you to let your life speak. Listen to what your life has to say, and then make a date with joy. And so it is. So I invite our practitioners to please stand and surround the sanctuary. And I invite our core council members to join them. These beloveds are in prayer for this beloved community every single day, and they are available to you for prayer. You can contact them through our website, or you can go and see them after service. As Allison mentioned, Dinah and Allison will be in the prayer room after service if you'd like prayer after service. All right, so let us come together in consciousness once more. Oh, how good it is to be in this time, in this space, in this place with these beloveds, recognizing that each one gathered here this day is a divine expression, emanation, and impartation of the one life, the one love, the one power, the one presence, the one all in all, eternal, infinite Spirit itself, that is love itself, forever expressing, forever expanding. And it is love that brought forth love. It is love that continues to create. It is love that moves forth into existence always and in all ways. And so I recognize for each one of us gathered here this day that each one of us is this love. And so we move love into existence. We bring it forth into existence in greater expressions by tapping into the joy that is already residing within each one of us, tapping into that internal, infinite wisdom that is within each one of us. So we open and we listen and we hear and we allow life to speak, and we open and we receive the guidance of Spirit through the still small voice that whispers, that expresses, that calls us forth with a voice so powerful. Though it may be soft, it is still a powerful voice that calls us forth into an individualized expression of life and of love itself. And so I know that each one of us is divinely guided and divinely guarded and divinely maintained and sustained in our fulfillment of this call upon our lives, of this sweet whisper that is providing us the inspiration of the next thing, of the next idea, of the next way of being. And not only is it inspiring us, but it is also making the crooked places straight. It is providing the way. It is making the way, the path clear in front of us if we but open our eyes and see and allow and listen softly, patiently. And so as we do this, we take in a nice deep breath and we release joy out into the world. We release love out into the world. And it is this joy that we make a date with, a daily date. I enjoy this. I enjoy my chocolate chip cookie. I enjoy this book that I'm reading. I enjoy the rain that is falling and bathing me. We find our joy, we see our joy, we recognize our joy everywhere present, and we make a date with it. And in so doing, we expand this joy, we expand this love, and we make ourselves more available to being in service to the greater fulfillment of the call upon our lives. Knowing that it is not I, the individual, that does the work, but it is the Spirit within each one of us that does the work itself. So I know that it unfolds under grace and in absolute perfect ways, with ease and delight of light, of joy. And so I simply give thanks for this recognition here and now. I give thanks for the joy that is already present in each life. I give thanks for the love that continues to express through each life. And I release this word now, knowing it is done, knowing that it is fulfilled, knowing that it continues to express itself in beautiful, magnificent, glorious ways. I say yes to it. I say yes to life. I say yes to love. I say yes to joy. And I let it be, and so it is.
These hands can build a
So now I invite our beloveds who are in service to please come forward. And receiving on behalf of the congregation this morning are Ken Ennison and James Jones, or collecting on behalf of the congregation are Ken Ennison and James Jones, and receiving on behalf of the congregation is Dinah Williams, practitioner Dinah Williams. So I invite you to take out that which you're choosing to contribute this morning, recognizing that this is a contribution. The easiest way of contributing to this beloved community, Riverside Center for Spiritual Living, is via text to give. So simply text 951-419-5858. Type in the amount you're choosing to contribute and hit send. And it's just like texting a friend. It's just that easy, because that is exactly what you are doing. You're texting all of your friends here in the sanctuary and all of your friends there at home. You are texting love, and you are spreading love in this community with that text. Another way of contributing is by going to our website, riversidecsl.org, and up in the upper right-hand corner, you will see a word there that says contribute, or see a button there that says contribute, and you can easily contribute there. Or if you're here in the sanctuary, you can contribute the more traditional way via baskets as they come along or they come around. So let us say this affirmation together, shall we? Here we go. I give and receive freely and generously with an open heart and an open mind. The universe responds to me in kind. I know that my beloved community is richly blessed, and so it is.
You got to be the light if you want to see the light. You got to be the light if you want to see the light. 'Cause you reap what you sow and read what you know, see what you believe. Give a little bit of that good thing if you got to receive. Give a little bit of that good thing if you got to receive. Be the love if you want to see the love. You got to be the love if you want to see the love. 'Cause you reap what you sow, read what you know, see what you believe. Give a little bit of that good thing if you got to receive. Give a little bit of that good thing if you want to You've got to be the light, yeah, if you want to see the light. You've got to be the light if you want to see the light. You have got to be the light if you want to see the light. 'Cause you reap what you sow, need what you know, see what you believe. Give a little bit of that good thing if you want to see. Give a little bit of that good thing if you want to. Give a little bit of that good thing if you want to receive.
So just a few things before we close out and move out into the lobby today. The Johnson Hall is set up for a wedding later on this afternoon, so we will be having fellowship in lobby. But before we move out into the lobby for fellowship, just a few things to share with you. Some of you have complimented me on my shirt, or you've asked me about my shirt, and yes, I got my shirt on vacation in Mexico, and this is Mexican equivalent of an Aloha shirt. So there you are. So I feel like I'm, snaps, exactly. So there we are. So yes, and I texted my friends who I was with when I purchased, like, look, so they got to see that I'm wearing the shirt that we bought together. The next thing that wasn't really an announcement, that was just an aside. You were asking, you're like, how come you're not wearing an Aloha shirt? I heard it several times this morning, so not to worry, my Aloha shirts will be back next week. But I want to share with you, we have classes. Part of what we do here at Centers for Spiritual Living is education, and we've had some classes complete recently. And so when these certificated classes complete, then we receive certificate. Then the folks who completed the classes receive certificates. So I want to distribute a couple of certificates today. Ken Ennison, if you come on back in, Ken, there you are. Ken Ennison for exploring the roots of science of mind, as well as Jacqueline Robertson. Hi, Jacqueline, come on forward and receive your certificate as well for exploring the roots of science of mind. There you are. Congratulations. Thank you. Hi, Jacqueline. So good to see you. Congratulations. All right, wonderful. Thank you. So, coming up here soon, we are starting on Wednesday. We have a class beginning that is going to be live and in person here on Wednesday mornings from noon to 10, or from 10 to noon, not noon to 10. That would be a very long class. From 10 to noon, and that is with Reverend Victoria. She's back there and she's laughing at me. It's great. And it is Noble Elders Awakening to Soul. And she wanted me to share with you to make sure that you know that it's for all ages and all stages of life, though it says Noble Elders, because some people in this room have very, very old souls, I would say. But what the class is Awakening to Soul, and it has the where we are moving through these challenges and these changes of life, these evolutionary periods of our life that we've been talking about this morning as we're moving through this. This class really supports you in moving through and experiencing and awakening to the full potential as we're moving through these things. So I want to invite you to that class. That starts on Wednesday. Please sign up by tomorrow at the very latest so that we have, one, enough people to do the class, and two, Reverend Victoria can prepare all of the beautiful materials that she has for you for the class. And that will be here on site, 10 a.m. to noon. And so it's going to be great to be able to be in person together and sit and be in community together. We know that lots of folks like the classes online, but we've also heard that lots of folks just want to be in the room together. So this is an opportunity for you to be in the room together, okay? All right, so let's go with the few other announcements there, Shal. Okay, they're not on my screen, so I'm just going to come down here. All right, I'm just going to come down here then so I can see, because they're not on the home screen for me to be able to see my prompter. All right, so Raven's Call. Shawnee is leading Raven's Call. Raven's Call meets this coming Saturday at 10, Shawnee? 9, excuse me, at 9 a.m. And they are in the process of getting ready to, well, we're coming up to fall. Technically, we're still in summer. We're coming up to fall, so they are moving into the fall season. They are also in the process of planning our winter solstice event on December 21st. So if you want to join a Raven's Call, you can join Raven's Call on Saturday morning at 9 a.m., and you can find that information right there on our website as well. Then we have the annual fish fry. Yay! This is next week. It's next week Saturday, or next week Sunday rather, the 18th at 11:30. You can purchase tickets in the lobby. They're $10 per person. I believe James is out there, so see James in the lobby. Oh, see Mike. Mike is the one in charge of that today, so see Mike. Mike will be out in the lobby to take your money, and you can place your order whether you want catfish or tilapia or vegan or. So want to do that because it's wonderful to be able to have this annual event returned to us. And then we have Brush and Brunch. Also, yay! Brush and Brunch is hosted by Ray and Greg, and so on the 24th, Saturday the 24th, we will be in Johnson Hall, and we will be painting and noshing at the same time, a painting inspired by the stained glass in Johnson Hall. So this is very, very exciting, so make sure that you sign up for that. You can find that information on the website. It's $45, and you get to go home with your own artwork, your own masterpiece. Ed and I and several of us have worked with Greg and Ray at one of their paint parties, and we experienced this, and we had such a good time. It was so much fun. Painting and creating, and you don't have to be an artist, right? That's right. You don't have to be an artist. You just have to be able to hold a paintbrush somehow in your armpit, between your toes, in your mouth, or whatever, your hand, however. That's all you need to be doing. And it's your own expression, so it's fantastic. So I invite you. It's so much fun. It's a great time. And then we have our community meeting. We have a new date for our community meeting. Our community meeting is now going to be October 23rd rather than September 25th. But same time, same bat channel here at 11:45. And then our 80th anniversary will be Sunday, November 5th, and tickets will go on sale soon, but make sure that you save the date for the 80th anniversary celebration. We are celebrating 80 years of love here in Riverside. And I was at an ordination yesterday, and they were like, 80 years? I'm like, yes, 80 years. We're number 16 worldwide of all of the centers, all 450 centers and member communities. We were the 16th community to be chartered by Ernest Holmes. So this is a big deal that we're celebrating 80 this year. So you want to make sure that you're there. Is that it, Shal? Or did I have more? Morning practice, I had more. So I just also wanted to share with you that beginning in October, starting October 2nd, we will no longer be doing morning meditation at 9:30. Instead, what we are doing, which is very exciting, is we are going to have morning practice. It's going to be downstairs in the Fairmont room at 9 o'clock, and our practitioners are going to teach a little bit of a spiritual practice and then facilitate that spiritual practice. So what we're looking at doing, part of the whole year that what we've been doing is we've been living everyday wonder, but we've also been really leaning into the practical, meaning practice, right, of our spirituality. And so this is an opportunity for you to come and experience some of our different practices, learn a little bit about the practice, and then do the practice. So on the first Sunday will be about affirmative prayer or spiritual mind treatment. The second Sunday will be the practice of visioning. The third Sunday will be the spiritual practice of meditation. And then the fourth Sunday of the month will be the fear to faith practice, moving from our fears and stepping into faith. So it's about releasing and embracing. It's a beautiful practice as well. So you'll have this opportunity for about 45 minutes, starting at 9 a.m. There will be a little bit of teaching or instruction or explanation of the practice, and then you will do the practice and then have a little bit of conversation afterwards. So this is another opportunity to be in practice with one another, live, in person, downstairs, and it's free. And it's free. And it's freeing, right? Yes. All right, so I really want to encourage you to participate in that, in really leaning into those morning spiritual practices. Now, Michelle, am I done? I'm done, okay. Except for one more thing. I really want to take a moment and say thank you to my beloveds who are sitting over here. I want to say thank you to Allison Berry, practitioner emeritus, and practitioner Dinah Williams, who have been standing in and being the host and everything else while I have been away. And so I would like for us to acknowledge them. It's a big job, as most of you know, but as they really know. And so I really want to thank them for their generosity and their love and their support of me and of this community. And so if you would be both, please, I have these here for you. Actually, I'll just hand you the vase. It's going to be easier. That way it doesn't drip on you. Thank you so much. Everybody give them a round of applause. Yes. They did a phenomenal job, so thank you, thank you, thank you. Wonder Twins, right? And I want to thank Neil for all of his support over the past month and all the guest speaking that he did for us. That was fantastic. I want to thank Reverend Victoria for the Sunday that she provided the message. I want to thank Reverend Sarah Adams and Reverend Caroline Flanders also for filling in while I was away here on Sunday morning. So I want to thank all of them. Thanks to Michelle and Matt and the production team. Thanks to the band and Jeff as well, knowing he's doing really well in Vegas already. So it's very exciting. He's going up. In case you didn't know, he is going up as he's already going to be filling in for the lead in the show that he's in, and that'll be in October. So it's super exciting. 11th through the 23rd. So I don't know, Riverside might have to go to Vegas for this. Go support Jeff. All right, that's it. I'm done. Let's say the affirmation. Let's say this week's affirmation together. I invite you to stand. Let's say it together, and then we'll close out. Nice and easy. I let my life speak.
I let my life speak.
Now say it like you mean it.
I let my life speak.
Yes, I let my life speak. Okay, something wonderful is happening through me right now. It is this thing called love. Love is in my mind. Love is in my body. Love is in everything I do. I am it. I share it. And I receive it. And I move love forward. Because love lives here. Happy Sunday. Let's sing it.
Something wonderful is happening to me right now. It's this thing called love. Love is in my mind. Love is in my body. Love is in everything I do. I am it. I share it. Receive it. And I move it forward. love.